getting ready to go out for a 3 by 10 minute tempo run. And I don't normally pack calories for a weekday run, especially if it's not more than an hour. But today it's an hour 20 minutes, and I'm really doing everything I can to just force in calories. Um, Obviously it's working, but I'm also still hungry often, so I think I could go a little bit harder still with it. So I have a scoop of Scratch in my water and then a GU Liquid Energy. Really, this is only 200 calories, a little less than 200. But I also just ate a couple of muffins, little muffins. 2 of them equals about 300 calories. So between the two, I'll get about 500 calories and then a post-workout breakfast.
So dressing for a run in the dark, it's 5:30 in the morning. The temperature is 21, feels like 21, which is great because that means there's no wind. And so what I'm generally going to wear is some Smartwool leggings. Those are my absolute favorite. I have a pair of Darn Tough socks on underneath the leggings, and then I have 2 layers of Smartwool. So one is a long sleeve base layer, and then my Smartwool jacket. I put a buff on, which I eventually end up not needing. Headlamp, Smartwool buff that I fold into ear covers, and then my mittens, which are almost always too warm, but I can take them off and on throughout the run, and never sad about that. And then I have my smaller pack with water, just because on efforts this high, I really like to be able to take a drink, and I do have some carbohydrates in my water.
All right, it's Tuesday. We got up at 4:30, and now we are about to start our first 3x3 tempo run in this training block. So what that means is we're gonna run for 10 minutes at an 8 out of 10 RPE. So it's as hard as you can go for 10 minutes, holding that pace the whole time. So generally it takes a interval or so to figure out what that means. Could be about between a 7.5 and an 8.5 minute mile for us. We're also going to choose a road that has some elevation or a little uphill, which could also bring it more towards the 8.5. Unless we go up 12th Street, at which point it might be more like a 10-minute mile. So I'll have about a 10% incline. And then we have a nice recovery run at the end.
I am really stressing my nutrition leading up to my next training block, and that's just because I don't track my food during all of my training. It's kind of something I do in between big training blocks as I'm just checking in to see like what's going well, what could use improving. I definitely didn't track my food leading up to my 100-mile race. I just went off of intuition. And at the end of the period, starting my next training period, I do track everything and just see like where I could improve. I know that I could definitely use more carbohydrates in the balance of protein, carbs, and fat. So it's really easy when you're trying to get more calories in to add in to add in fats. And I really want to focus on adding in more carbohydrates, since that is going to be my prime energy source as a endurance athlete. So I just finished our first tempo workout in our tempo block. Sam and I both finished it. We did 3 sets of 10-minute intervals. They were difficult, but felt pretty good because we just had a recovery week. So it's always a little easier going into that first week of a new training block, just because you're fresh, and it's actually the cumulative training that makes a training block more difficult. So by the 3rd or 4th week, these workouts are not going to feel quite the same as they did the first week. So and that's normal and expected. Sam is just training to, he does have a 50K on the calendar with me, but then he also is training to be a pacer for me. So I kind of pick and choose through my workouts that I do with Anne, my coach, which ones he is going to do with me and then which ones we're gonna adjust, because right now, as my volume is a little lower, he can pretty much run doing all of the workouts with me. As my training gets to more like max volume, around 12 hours of running a week, he doesn't need to be running quite that much. So I just kind of adjust his workouts as I make his coaching for him as well. So now this afternoon, I'll do some strength work, and tomorrow will be a vert session on the treadmill, and then we'll have the same workout we did today on Thursday. Friday is recovery, Saturday long run, going back up, so we'll be at 3.5 hours, then 4 hours, then 5 hours, so just kind of increasing that week by week. As my running volume increases, my strength workouts are kind of getting smaller and a little bit less interesting overall. As I tick closer and closer to 12 hours of running per week, they might become non-existent or very minimal. So this was a 100 rep challenge, and really the goal is just to maintain strength. And so every workout I am doing, which is probably like anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes long, strength training sessions, the exercises are a little bit different. Obviously, as a massage therapist and personal trainer, I get a lot of physical activity at work, and so I'm not really concerned with my workouts getting so short. I'm also doing an hour of core work when I teach core Pilates. So, but it is just fun and for me to strength train a little bit on my own. So today, my 100 rep challenge, I did 100 reverse lunges, 100 assisted pull-ups, and then 100 of kind of various core exercises, like the plank pull through in this video.